When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Tech4Troops Cup Series battle here in Dover. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. I'm Rick Souza. Here in the broadcast booth, my co-broadcaster, John DeRugis. And John, this should be a very interesting night.
Oh, yeah. Interesting is it's a good way to put it, because we are at Dover, the Monster Mile, the track that will eat you up right before your eyes. And so this track is a fan favorite, but oftentimes right there, as you see, you can get loose out of the corners here at Dover. This is one of the most unique concrete surfaces we go to here on the Tech4Troops circuit. So it's one of the toughest tracks, but also a really fun track. Also, shout out to Marco Berube for the gold chrome paint scheme. That is incredible to see. I wish it was sunny outside, because that thing would be glistening.
Yeah, it sure would. So let's talk about, as times are beginning to get posted, you see Lilith Peters up at the top of the tower right now. Let's look and get our race info.
Alrighty, so here today at good old Dover, 200 laps, pit road speed is 35 miles an hour. No quick repairs, 5 sets of fuel, or 5 sets of tires, 50% fuel, and 3 green, white checkers here on this 1.02 mile track. It's very unique. It's one of the most unique tracks we go to, and looking at, fuel and looking where we're at, I'm anticipating anywhere really around 50 laps on a tank of gas. You can, with 50% fuel here, you can go a decently long way. So we'll see how that plays into tonight's strategy. But right now we have just under 2 minutes to go before we are live here. Get the starting grid up at Dover, and we're two races away, Rick, from the playoffs. So
Yeah.
could we see a surprise winner? Because you got this week, and then next week you got the great unknown. You got Talladega.
Well, absolutely. So things are, well, I think Talladega is always a crapshoot. So, it is what it is. I love this track. It is very unique, especially coming off, and we'll get some in-car cameras so the viewers can actually see what is happening. Definitely coming into turn 3 and turn 4. Very cool. But let's cover, John, what are your keys for tonight's race?
All right, so we're looking at Dover, and when you go to Dover, you have a couple things you need to pay attention to. One of the things, like I already mentioned before, is in fact corner exit. Corner exit here is one of the most daunting corner exits, especially out of 2 and 4. Specifically out of turn 4, you slide up that track like crazy. You are basically hoping and praying that your car is going to stick. And if it doesn't, well, you are either going to go spinning into the inside wall or you're going to go slam that outside wall, which you don't want to do. So mastering corner exit is the key number 1. Key number 2 is tires. You have to manage your tires here. Even if that means dropping back at the start of a run, I prefer having tires towards the back end of the run so you can mitigate how much fall off you have on the back. And third, pit road strategy. Pit road strategy here, I think we're going to see a lot of green flag running. I think we're going to see obviously some guys get loose just like that. Guys and girl get loose. But I also think you're going to see a lot of a little bit of a hard hit there. A lot of pit strategy where you may see some guys try to short pit. You may see some of these individuals make sure that they get on pit road before somebody else. So with all that to say, corner exit, tires, and pit road strategy are the 3 keys. And I think we just finished up with qualifying. So let's bring up our starting order for tonight's Tech4Troops Cup Series event at Dover, Delaware, the Monster Mile. One of the craziest tracks on the circuit. And here we are. So on the pole is Miss Lilith Peters there out of Kaiju Cat Motorsports with James Lowe in second. Chad Jones making his second career start, starting in P3 with Ty Bostic. Great run for him up there in P4. Charles Van Squick there in P5 with Zach Ward in sixth. Mike Slatker, great top 10 starting position in 7th with Harley Barletta, who is outside in 8th. Jeff Nairn in P9. And Chris Worrell, wow, a little bit further back than what we've seen him, starting in P10.
Yeah, I think Chris was struggling to make the race, and he was the last driver to qualify. So in 11th, you've got John Ledger. 12th is Justin Horton. In 13th, Sammy Harrell. 14th, Ryan Pittman. 15th is Phil Vandertwick, and Maurice Burnett is in 16th. Jeremy Flanagan starts in 17th, and Marco Berube in 18th. Luke Bullard in 19th, and Jeff Nenede up in 20th.
In 21st, you have Zach Allen with Cody Sturgill to his outside in 22nd. 23rd, Brian Johnston. 24th, David Watts. In 25th, you have Ryan McRoberts, and rounding out your 26 car field is Ryan D. Cook, who did not post a time. So that is your starting order.
And we are waiting for the grid. There's still a couple of drivers who have not gridded up as of yet. We're still waiting on Chuck Van Scoik and Sammy Harrell, both GOAT Racing teammates there. They must have a conference going on between the two of them. But we are almost ready to kick this off. So 200 laps here at Dover. This is absolutely going to be a door-to-door, door-slamming kind of event. So.
Yeah, it will. It's going to be pretty difficult to get around this track, especially in traffic. So we'll see how this race spans out.
All right, the field is coming together. Again, we thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. Appreciate you tuning in to whatever stream you're following us on, YouTube, Twitch, or X?
Weird to say, isn't it?
X? Yeah,
Yep.
it's odd.
It's odd. X/Twitter for anybody who is curious what we're talking about. Alrighty, pace cars dip down. We're about to get today's race started in green flag. Wow, early start. I think that happened right at the Geico restart zone. Green flag out here on this cloudy day in Dover, Delaware, as everybody is side by side going into turn one. Have a car exiting pit road. They started in the pits there, but here we are.
So there may have been some issues from the last race, I'm guessing. But both Chuck Van Scoik and Sammy Harrell both started from the pits.
Makes a lot of sense.
Alrighty. Go from race control.
And you know, Rick, one of the toughest things about this track is you feel like you can send that car off the corner, but once that thing starts to push, it almost doesn't want to come back down. So you got to be very careful. Look how close Barletta got to the wall right there. And yeah, let's ride around with him on the outside. The tough task to tame on the outside here. He should get a nice run off the corner, pinching that car down below him, which I believe is Mike Sladker. Going to get a little bit of bump from the 06 there. And yep, look at that. Drives off, leaving those two guys behind him.
Yeah, he bit as much out of turn 4 as he could. But right there is that little drop right there into one. Little elevation change. Pretty wild. You actually, the car kind of lifts and drops.
It does. You know, I mean, really, Dover reminds me of a larger Bristol in a way. If you think about it, I don't know if that's ever been made, you know, a comparison, but it really reminds me of Bristol, just with the shape of the track, one, the angle of the banking, and as well as how you drive it. Now we got a caution on the track, though. Jeff Nani, I believe, could be the...
are correct here. Let's go back and see just what happened to Jeff. Just lost it off of 4.
Yep, and that's typical. And we mentioned it before, you know, corner exit was one of my keys to the race. And when you lose the car out of 4, I think we all remember when Jimmy Johnson saved it out of 4 in qualifying way back when they were, I believe that was the Gen 5 car, maybe Gen 4. Can't really remember specifically, but he lost out of the 4. And, you know, that's why corner exit is so important. You have to be able to get a good run off, and you are on the edge of either wrecking or making it stick.
Gotcha. So it looks like the two gentlemen who started from pit road, that was Chuck Van Scoik and who else was it? Sammy Harrell. This is they're on a strategy. They're doing it. They're figuring it out for themselves. So that's their plan. It's all good. Well, first caution has occurred in lap 6, so lap 5. We'll be back under green flag conditions pretty soon.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I figured now, while we're slowed down a little bit, we could take a quick peek at Marco Berube this week, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Let's find Mr. Marco Berube. John, that was the car you were completely enamored with earlier.
I was, yeah. I love the chrome. I love whatever color chrome it is. I just think it looks really fantastic on these Cup cars.
Right, it absolutely does. The 99 there with the brand new GameCore logo. Well, I got to tell you, that is pulling it in for the scheme skirmish on the Speedway this week. So, as I said, the prizes are boosted, and we are on the lookout for new Tech4Troop paint schemes for GameCore, and even for ImmerseCon if you're feeling froggy. So Marco Berube is going to take home $50 of sweet, sweet Amazon loot this week. Be on the lookout for that, my friend. And check out our Instagram and our Discord for some of the events we have coming up.
That's awesome. All right, congratulations to Mr. Marco Berube, this week's winner in the Tech4Troops Scheme Skirmish. He takes home $50 in Amazon loot. Congratulations, Marco.
Yeah, it is a pretty awesome looking ride there on that machine. So cool that he won that. But looking back,
wish I knew how to spell skirmish.
I don't know. I don't know how to spell that one either. So we'll let that one slide. Alrighty, green flag back in the air here at Dover. Great restart there for Lilith Peters on the outside. Going to get a lovely rundown into turn one.
She is just gone. Great restart for Lilith. Jumps out in front there a little bit too wide. That's the 6 of Chris Worrell, the 06. And he gets in front and makes a pass in front of Zach Ward. Now diving up the 81 of Barletta. Gets by Barletta. He is on the charge.
Yes, he is. I wish I had a rhyme for his name, like Christopher Howell on the prowl, but I don't have one for Barletta. I'll have to think about something. Yeah, one of the two. Yeah, got to figure out something. But Barletta, he's been battling up there, trying to get back up to the front. He's had a lot of good runs this season, so we'll see what he's able to do. Sitting right there in P6. But as it stands, though, Lilith Peters out in first, James Lowe in second, Ty Bostic third, Chad Jones in fourth, Chris Worrell there up 5 positions in P5, Harlow Barletta, like we just mentioned, in 6th, Zach Ward in 7th, Mike Sladker in 8th, Justin Horton in 9th, and John Ledger in P10. That's a great angle to see the elevation change and how really free these cars get out of the corner. Like you said, the car's almost like it's like a ramp off the corner. It just shoots the car right back up the track.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll try to do our best to keep the top 15 up there on the left-hand side. We'll pop that down when we need to, but right now we're going to take a quick look up at the front with Lilith Peters. She's got James Lowe on her bumper. So as you said earlier, John, this is the kind of track where you've really got to plan. These are long runs. You've got to preserve your tires. You can't aggressively attack. It's a concrete surface. And I know you were talking earlier about the similarities with Bristol. Well, these two tracks were owned by the same company, Dover and Bristol. They're both concrete tracks. They were both owned by the same. They're still owned by the same company, but now it was purchased by, I think, Speedway Motorsports. So they're all under the same umbrella. But for the longest time, Dover and Bristol were owned by the same company. Similar construction as it relates to the concrete surfaces, and it's an aggressive surface. There's significant wear that does occur here.
Yep, very, very significant, and that's why I think saving tires, at least that is my preferred strategy. That's what I've been able to do and win here at Dover with, is saving tires, backing up corner entry, letting the car roll, and then not being super aggressive off the corner where you're pushing it, turning the wheel too far to the left, and you're just sliding that right front and right rear. When you slide those right sides, you are just heating them up, and then it's really hard to cool them down once you get them heated up because of how these corners are banked and the amount of wheel you have to put into the corner. So it's almost like, once you get them heated up, unless you slow down significantly, you can't get them cooled down.
All right, 20 laps in the books, and As we talked about earlier, we think somewhere around lap 50 or so. Of course, we did have that caution, but somewhere around lap 55, maybe we'll begin to see some pit stops occurring. They're a bit challenging here under green flag conditions. It's a 35 mile per hour pit road. You've got to get down relatively early, and then it is a slow drive. You just feel like it goes on forever getting on and off pit road.
Yeah, it's 35 miles an hour. Everybody knows how that feels. We've all driven 35 miles an hour, at least, well, you're supposed to, on the roads, depending on where you are. But at a place like Dover, with the pit entry the way that it is, it's one of the toughest pit roads to get down into, because you almost have to get down pit road in the middle of 3 and 4 when the car is the most unsettled, and it's hard to back that thing down. I would not be surprised if we see some individuals try to spit or getting spun, or spinning themselves rather, getting on the pit road, or just completely missing pit road entry there as well. So, and also on pit exit, let's talk about that. When you get out of pit road here, you are on a very bumpy apron, and with the elevation change of corner exit out of turn 2, it's almost like if you're almost on ice when you make that elevation change from the asphalt to the concrete. The car gets unsettled as well, as you can see right there. So very challenging track.
All right, lap 23 is in the books as Lilith Peters continues to make her way around. James Lowe is on her tail, and Ty Bostic is currently showing in 3rd place.
And just like that, Rick, we are an 1/8 of the way through this race with Lilith Peters out front, James Lowe in 2nd, Ty Bostic in 3rd, Chris Farrell in 4th, and Zach Ward in 5th.
All right, let's take a little walk back through the field. You got James Lowe right there with Lilith, and then back a little bit, you got Ty Bostic. He's kind of running, looks like by himself. Let's try to bring up that, give us a second, folks. We're going to try to bring up some track maps. All right, you can see the field is already spread out over halfway around this 1 mile concrete gladiator ring here amongst these drivers. Ty Bostic is right there currently in 3rd.
Caution out.
Caution is out. Any idea why?
It looks like maybe Brian Johnson or David Watts. Maybe Ryan, I don't know. Those are the drivers that looked like they were falling in the field.
We're behind Brian Johnson now on the replay. I don't see anything. Caution's already out. Let's jump up to the driver. Hi, Marco. So I have no idea why that caution came out. So,
I mean, I'm looking through the whole field right now. I don't see it. The only person I could think of might have been Ryan Cook, who towed. There was a car in the wall. I don't know, but here comes the whole field down pit road, led by Lilith Peters. All right, this is going to be a pretty crazy exit here. We'll see who's going to get to the line. Great shot right there. James Lowe is out, and he gets out of pit road first. Look at that. Wow.
His stop was 5/10 faster.
What a job by James Lowe. Should be the leader. It's actually showing Lilith in front.
That's odd.
Did he speed? I don't see any black flags.
That's an interesting question. All right, well, we'll let the scoring tower and the the iRacing gods kind of make some decisions as to who lines up where, but I don't see him. He's backed off. Something happened.
He is definitely going to the end of the line. I don't know why. I thought he got a clean exit off. It looked, unless he had the speeding penalty.
We're getting some messages from admin and race control. Let's see what happened with James Lowe. As always, we're waiting for the guys in the tower that control the race to let us know. Oh, okay. So that explains the incident. Let's see what happened with James Lowe. All right, so we do know what happened with why the caution came out. Apparently, the 46 of Ryan Cook, his computer died, and well, you're on a computer simulation. Computer dies, bad things happen.
Yeah, you know, that's what happens here when you are not only at the mercy of technology, but the mercy of Wi-Fi and your own computer. So sometimes your computer's like, you know what, I'm going to give up. Sorry. And that's what happened there.
So we don't exactly know what happened to James Lowe. He is back at the tail end of the field. Race control is trying to get us some information. We'll update you when we can.
It almost looked like a self-imposed EOL, which doesn't make much sense to me because I don't see any black flags on the screen for any drivers. So you know, your guess is as good as mine, Rick.
Well, if it's a self-imposed black flag, then that may impact the restart, at least within the admin folks will have their hands full fixing that. So, well, that being said, we are about to go. Oh wait, it just got posted.
Speeding
Penalty. Yep, there you go.
Well, he did look a little bit hot coming out of there, so doesn't surprise me. Here we go. Pace car dips down. They're about to get into the Geico restart zone. And here we go. Green flag back in the air here at Dover, Delaware.
Yeah, Lilith took that outside line.
Yep, I like the move because that's going to force everybody else down to the bottom side and more than likely stack up second on back. Also, look at these camera angles. You know, I think this should be. We should have like a crank it up graphic, Rick.
Well, we have a crank it up camera. Hang on one second. Whoa! Thought I saw something about to wreck there, but here we go.
There we go.
We still have our little gopher. We're going to bring that gopher back.
We do. Digger.
We bring Digger back. Next time by. Here we go.
Oh, that's a cool shot.
Move Digger around. That's a little precarious like that.
Yeah, you don't want him getting hurt. We need the little guy. We need the little guy. That's our IWM Tech4Troop Crank it up. Here at Dover, we got Lilith Peters, out front with Chris Worrell up 8 there in P2. Ty Bostic in 3rd, Zach Ward in 4th, Chad Jones in 5th, John Ledger in 6th, Justin Horton in 7th, Luke Bullard in 8th, Mike Slatker in 9th, and Jeff Nairn in 10th. Let's look at our biggest movers of the race right now. In P8, Luke Bullard up 11 spots there in MB2 Motorsports. He is looking at, he's one of 11 drivers who just posted their personal best lap of the race, with Zach Ward just getting his fastest lap and the fastest lap of the race right now there. Second biggest mover is Ryan McRoberts as well there, up 11 in P14.
Oh, contact. Lilith
contact.
hits the wall. Oh, he
Wow.
saved it. Chris Worrell, just a massive save.
Save of the day there by the 06, maybe save of the year. I don't know. Him and Lilith both have some of the best saves we've seen. I mean, that car was 50 shades of sideways coming out of the corner. What an amazing save there.
Absolutely.
Saved his race.
Absolutely. All right, 40 laps in here. Chris Worrell just pulled a horseshoe out. Hoping he's got a couple more. He's going to need it. This is just a challenging track overall. But up to P2 plus 8 spots here for the number 06 Ford of Chris Worrell. Shot from high atop the grandstands, give you a bird's eye view of what this looks like from a fan's perspective. Pretty much here at Dover, it's pretty much every seat is a great seat, kind of like Bristol.
Oh yeah, Bristol's one of the best tracks on the circuit, and Dover, I would second that too, with the visibility. And it's a great track to go visit a race at because it's very high speeds and very small, close corners, and you're on the edge the entire time. So with them coming down on pit road at about lap 29, getting the green with about 31, you're looking at pit stops somewhere around lap 80, somewhere around lap 130, and then lap 180 again. So you're looking at least 3 more stops here for these Tech4Troops drivers.
So far, relatively clean race. An incident occurred that we had a computer disconnect. That's kind of not doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. First caution we had was the 40 of Jeff Nini getting a little sideways, but Jeff's now back up to 20th. And pretty much with the exception of the fact that Ryan Cook lost his connection, all 25 cars are on the lead lap. Lilith Peters continues to show the way around. Here's a pass for position here. That's the 7 of Zach Ward, getting up and around the 22 of Ty Bostic. This is one of those times we were talking earlier where, discretion is the better part of valor. You don't want to, at this early stage of the game, if someone gets by you, just let them go. Don't burn up your tires trying to chase a position.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing here. When you burn up your tires, it's tough to get them cooled down. We've talked about that before, so we'll see how they're able to do.
Yeah, there's no real good way to try and get that heat out of your tire. You've got to baby it up front for the first 25 laps to have any chance of being able to aggressively go after it at the end of the run. But again, you know, that's the goal. To do that, it's super. You know, you have to take a line that has less wheel steer and doesn't bite into the corner too much, and you know, you have to almost. I guess the only word I've got is more. You have to be delicate. You really have to be delicate in how you drive this track.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think delicate is the best way to describe it. You're looking at a track that is, you know, concrete surface, not a lot of grip, and when you are sliding as much as you are, it is tough. I mean, it's a fun track, but it's one of the toughest tracks on the circuit to do consistently well, to be able to make your car work the way that it needs to on a corner-to-corner basis. I mean, not even a lap-to-lap basis, a corner-to-corner basis. Because if you overcook 1 and 2, you're going to be loose in 3 and 4 because your tires are so hot. So that's where, you know, like I said before, I think the key to this race, if I had a bonus key, tough hit there for the 06.
Solid.
Is you got to conserve your tires. You must.
We've seen these two drivers battle it out so far all season long. They've been up at the front. They've been battling for position nearly every race.
They have. They've been, you know, the top two in wins, in finishing position, in top 10s, top 5s. It is absolutely immaculate what they've been able to do. And shout out to all the drivers, but a special shout out to Little Peter's rookie here. You see the rookie stripes on the back. Been able to come out and perform at such a high level. That's not easy to do.
So we're going to be, we're here at Dover covering this race with the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Tomorrow night we will again be here at Dover for the INRS Series, covering their event here. And then, of course, you can watch the Cup Series on Sunday at Dover.
Yep. It's going to be a good one.
Just looking at the board, 56 laps. This race is just past 1/4 in the books. Lilith Peters continues to lead the way. Chris Farrell in second. Zach Ford in third. Ty Bostic fourth. Chad Jones in fifth. Justin Horton is in sixth. Luke Bullard in seventh. Mike Slagter in eighth. Jeff Nairn in ninth. And John Ledger is in 10th. We said Luke Bullard continues to be our big mover, plus 12, but unfortunately our big loser right now was the 07 of James Lowe, who got that speeding penalty exiting pit road, but he's working his way back up. He was in 25th. He is now in 13th. Jeff, back to him. He has got to work his way up through traffic. Oh, there was contact with the wall with the 07. He's right on the bumper of the 24 of Zach Allen. So, what do you, I mean, I see him aggressively work to try and get his car back up, but that's got to do a number on those tires.
Yeah, it is, especially with his approach in the corners. I mean, it's going to cook his tires. He may get by some driver. Let's do it.
It's 19 of John Ledger and that Monster Energy car. Slide under John. He seems to be dropping back. That was a pass for position.
That was?
Yeah. run on the 24.
Great run.
These guys last pitted around lap 29, so there's just over 30 laps on these tires.
Yes, we should expect pit stops here in the next 17 or so laps, I believe, for our first green flag stops of the race. And, you know, Rick...
So my guess is those tires get a little bit hot.
Just a little bit. You know, looking at some lap times here, the fastest lap of the race was 22.6. Last time by was a 23.8, and that was from Zach Ward. So, you know, you're looking at times just really falling off by over a second. And that's one of the toughest things about this track, is you fall off so much.
Yeah, just notice that the gap is now significant between Lilith Peters, a little sideways there as she was coming out of turn 4, but she is coming up on potentially some lap traffic. Harley Barletta is the last car on the lead lap. David Watts is coming out, I think, off of pit road. David is a lap or so down. So Harley goes up and allows Lilith to track under. Oh, close move there. As you can see, Chris Worrell a second and a half back. Zach Ward a couple seconds. So we're definitely seeing significant gaps forming between these drivers. And as you look up at the track map in the upper right hand corner of your screen, you can see we're pretty much covering this track. That was the 54 of David Watts. David Watts is actually 12 laps down. But he's got fresh tires. He just came off of pit road. So as the leaders now are encountering some traffic, we'll see how that changes their strategy and impacts their overall times and separations. We do have Luke Bullard on pit road.
Yep, there's the 06 going by the 81 out of turn 4. And you can just tell right there the difference between where those two drivers are when it comes to tires.
Yeah. Well, I think if you've got, at this point, if you've worn out your tires, you're almost better off going in a little bit early. Whatever happens lap time wise, take that opportunity to not lose that much more time driving around off. Better to be off cycle than off speed.
Yep. And that's, you know, something that a lot of people, you know, I shouldn't say a lot of people. When you're a driver, you're thinking about obviously making, you know, hitting your marks, making sure you're consistent, you're not burning up the tires as Van Scoik, or my bad, Bostic and Nairn are on pit road. But you're also, I think about the delta between when I am going to be running, you know, maybe 24-second lap times like Zach Allen is a 24.1 to his 22.9 fastest lap, and what the delta is going to be on these guys with fresher tires, because it's going to happen. And so, you know, even one lap is significant when it comes into that place as the 06 or 07 on pit road. I think about the deltas, and that's where you can gain so much time. And yeah, you know, you need to pit on cycle, you need to pit with some other drivers, but really, you know, short pitting is going to force everybody to come, if not on schedule or early, which is going to throw a wrench into their race. And so the deltas between old tires and new tires, you know, I think you got to think about pretty heavily.
Watching the 07 on pit road, we expect to see the rest of the drivers come down next lap or two. Chris Worrell and Lilith Peters both on pit road.
Leaders on pit road.
And as you're sitting here watching, it looks like they're crawling.
It does. It looks like they're not even moving.
It's like just like an afternoon Sunday drive.
It is. It really is.
So obviously they're taking 4 tires here at these stops. Do you think at some point towards the end we'll see this change to 2 tire stops?
I think it'll depend on how far back somebody is and what their deltas are, because I think 4 tires are the way to go. 2 tires will get it done. So if you're struggling with track position, take 2. But if you're up at the front, I think sticking with 4 is the way to go. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you could blow a tire, because a lot of drivers don't think about that, but that can happen. It is possible to blow a tire here on iRacing, and when you do that, you are going to wreck. You will just go right up into the wall or spin.
Yep. Not unlike what you expect to see on Sunday.
Right.
All right, so Philip Vandertwijk has found himself through this exchange and change of tires and fuel at the front. Good way to lead a lap, pick up some points.
For sure.
All right, that puts Jeremy Flanagan. He is now on pit road. That puts Brian Johnson at the front. Based on our information, looks like Brian is the only car who has yet to pit.
Wow. This is where that strategy really is going to come into play. We'll see what he's able to do.
Curious, because he pitted last on lap 29 like everybody else did, and here he is circling. We are now at lap 81. This could be an excellent strategy for him. Of course, you have to time this just right. You can't stay out too long. And so Sammy Harrell is back on pit road. And here goes Brian Johnson down onto pit road. Take a peek at Sammy Harrell here. I'm guessing he must have had a speeding penalty and now has a hold.
That could, yep, Sammy Harrell does. He has the black flag. Unfortunate there for Sammy. Tough break.
All right, that round of pit stops has cycled Lilith Peters to the front. She is at the, right now she is on the bumper of the 48, Philip Vandertwijk. Because how that all played out, I think we've got a number of drivers that are a lap down.
Yeah, we do. We have quite a few drivers, behind the 8 ball here. Almost half the field.
We saw a little bit of a puff of smoke as the 48 tagged the wall. We're going to take this opportunity to step away for a commercial break. You won't miss anything. We'll be going side by side.
Hello, my name is Jack Raymondson. I manage business development here at Tech4Troops, and I'm my 2nd year with this amazing veteran nonprofit owned and operated by veterans for veterans. I served in the U.S. Marine Corps as an amphibious assault crewman from 1992 to 1996. I also served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 2002 to 2007, joining after 9/11 as an operations specialist, then serving as an instructor at Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown. I also spent many years as a first responder volunteering as an EMT and fireman. I'm here at Tech4Troops because I believe in our mission to empower veterans and their families with the gift of computers and technology training, as well as our outreach to help curb veteran suicide while providing a safe and meaningful community where veterans are treated with respect and dignity. We are aiming for zero veteran suicide through gaming and other program opportunities. We help veterans regain a new sense of purpose and help them see they have a brighter future ahead of them. It truly is an honor and my pleasure to serve my fellow veterans and help give them a leg up. 2024 is Tech4Troops' 10th anniversary year, and I ask that you help us support our veterans and their families with a computer donation and or greatly needed financial contribution so we can help every last veteran in need. Together, you and Tech4Troops can be change makers. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series here on Wednesday night. We thank you for tuning in. We know you get a choice on this Wednesday night as to what you would like to watch, and we appreciate you tuning in to our live broadcast. So right now, it continues to be the Lilith Peters show. She is currently leading. It's lap 90 here out of 200. Chris Worrell is in second. Ty Boston in third. Let's bring up that graphic to give us at least our top 15. We have another retiree. The 81 of Harley Barletta has retired. Not sure why. I'm trying to give you some information. But as you can see from the graphic in the upper right-hand corner, the track is full.
Yes, it is, and that's what's going to happen. Yeah, absolutely.
Spread out. There's only 15 cars on the lead lap. In that exchange of green flag pit stops on a relatively short track like this 1 mile oval, these types of things occur. And so about, just trying to get a bigger list of drivers who can get a better feel for just how many are one lap down. There you go. You can see that pretty much positions 14 through 21 are currently 1 lap down. Jeff Denis is down 2. Sammy Harold down 4. Harley Barletta is out. David Watts has made up a couple, but he's now only 10 laps behind.
You know what's crazy? We are almost at halfway.
Yeah. Great racing. Now, this league went caution-free last week, and we've only had a couple minor cautions here. One for a car that had a computer glitch, and one for a simple spin out of 4, which was a one-car incident. Chris Worrell kind of making his way back up through traffic as he worked his way around the 40 of Jeff Denis and the 48 of Phil Vandertwick.
You know, that's one thing about Dover that is such a tough aspect to get a hold of is traffic. How are you going to pass drivers here at this track? Because there's really only a couple lanes, you know what I mean? There's only a couple lanes that you can use and leverage. Which is just wild if you think about how this track is laid out and how wide it is. I mean, look at how wide that track is. Really, the preferred lane is the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's super simple to have to go up high thinking you can slingshot down, but when you try that, you're going to put yourself in the wall.
For sure.
Right, there's just like the gap between the leader of Lilith Peters and second place Chris Morrell, just about a second and a half, but over second place, Ty Bosick is over 6 seconds behind. Let's drop back to Ty Bosick. He's running that high line. That's the 70 of Chad Jones, right in front of him. And behind the 7 of Zach Ward. We saw those guys battling out door to door earlier. There it is. There's the halfway point.
Alrighty. So, race control, just let us know what happened to Harley Barletta, the 81. Broke his car, decided to go home. Hey, you know what? Broke cars and can't really go too far when you don't have a quick repair, so unfortunate there.
Yeah, it's typical. Now these cars from generationally, when we first introduced the next gen, that toe link was a fragile piece of hardware. Over the last season and a half, they have made some dramatic improvements and beefed that up. And we haven't seen nearly the type of toe link issues we did when they first released this car.
Right.
However, if you slam into that safer barrier hard, you will still run a risk of breaking it, and once you do, you're done.
Oh yeah.
This 1 foot long or 10-inch long piece of metal that is really not much thicker than about I guess 3/4 of an inch. That determines whether your day is good or you, as Harley did, pack it up and call it a day. All right, John, we pitted last, let's say lap 75. When should we begin to look for the next round of pit stops?
I'm thinking somewhere about lap 120. They pit about 5 laps earlier than I thought they would, so about 45 laps on a tank of gas. I think about 120.
All right, we'll be looking out for that. So while we're just here at lap 105, let's take a quick commercial break. We're just going to go to commercial. We will be right back.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Cup Series here at Dover International Speedway, bringing you our Wednesday night event. I'm Rick Souza here with my co-broadcaster, John DeRudris.
It's been a fun race so far. We got a lot of action going on, a lot of green flag racing. I mean, that's awesome. So far, 2 cautions for cause in the last 2 races. That's pretty good.
Let's jump up front. We're watching Lilith Peters. She worked her way around some traffic, but she still has Chris Morrell. But the challenge is now she's gotten around all that traffic. Now only 9 cars remain on the lead lap. As a testament to that 01 Chevrolet of Lilith Peters as she's beginning to navigate that traffic and work her way around. Second place, Chris Morrell is right there. Got a couple seconds back. round back, Mike Slagder in the 14 is sitting in third. He's got a little pressure by the 70 of Chad Jones. And then the NB2 Motorsports guys have teamed up a bit. That's Ty Bostic and Jeff Nairn. But now they're pitting as well. At least Ty is pitting.
Interesting.
And Lilith. Lilith is also on pit road.
All right. Again, earlier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, maybe they're trying to short pit this second stint.
Oh, wrecking.
And wrecking on the front.
Caution is out. And they're
Marco
trapped
Berube.
on pit road.
Marco Berube there. Oh, man. Well, I know where that $50 of Amazon loot's going to go.
Yeah, auto body repair.
It is.
Ruby was involved, although also Ryan McRoberts also involved with some major damage on that. Let's take a look and see just what happened. Whoa. Let's back that up a little bit. What happened to the 93? He was... All right, let's just run this through and see what we see. So I thought just like he was going to go on pit road, but realized.
Oh, wow. That was Luke Bullard in the 99 getting together off Turner exit.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was due to him, the McRoberts car deciding to. Let's see how this plays out. Yeah, they kind of forced the 99 to go up and then contacts the wall. Luke Bullard gets some damage.
Tough break.
Okay. Just talking about how we hadn't had a lot of cautions, and then, well, there's one.
It always seems to happen that way, doesn't it?
It does. It does. All right, well, we'll have to see how this plays out. That round of pit stops actually, with both Lilith Peters and Ty Bostic both coming down onto pit road and getting halfway down pit road, and then the caution flaws that really impacted their position. We'll see how the tower shakes out when we go back to restart. We'll get you a running order and see what happens. We're watching the 27 of Jeff Nairn on pit road, along with a number of other drivers: Pittman, Burnett, Flanagan, Allen, Brian Johnson's on pit road. Pretty much all 4-tire stops. For some reason the
doesn't surprise me too much.
Yeah, it's like Chris Worrell may have had an extended stop. Take the opportunity, maybe get a little bit of body work banged out. Again, we don't have quick repairs in this league, so if you got something that's going to affect you a little bit, and you got the time, have your pit crew bang it out on pit road. All right, just 85 laps to go here at Dover. Our third caution of the night. And kind of with a new driver, not a new driver, but a new leader in the 14 of Mike Slagter, who I think will be the command car on this restart.
I believe you're right.
See a number of drivers get wave arounds. Looks like he's chosen the inside lane, putting the 70 of Chad Jones to the outside. Field's a little spread out right now. Looks like how we'll see how this plays out. It looks like both Lilith Peters and Ty Bostic wind up at the end. The last two cars currently on the lead lap.
That's tough. You know, when track position is so important, green flag back in the air here. With track position so important here at Dover, you've gotta be able to keep that track position. And you know, unfortunate break for those drivers. But we'll see what happens now as battle for the lead side by side. 14 in the 06 now battling. I know that's not Shane Van Gisbergen in the WeatherTech Chevrolet Camaro. That is Chad Jones. 06 is loose again out of turn 4.
Go with fresh tires. That's an aggressive approach. Definitely a battle a bit farther back with, hey, and there he is. Chuck Van Scoik has made his way. That was a strategic move for starting on pit road.
Yeah, all the way up to P3 right now. Great move.
Have kind of spread themselves, separated themselves a bit from the rest of the field. Just 10 cars remain on the lead lap.
There goes the 70 back around the 23 for P3.
Chuck was fighting that wheel a bit, then a better look in that cockpit on the 23. Pay attention to that orange stripe in the center of the steering wheel. That's kind of where he's pointing that wheel to go. Corner exit's always interesting to watch. Now you see him sawing that wheel back and forth as he gets down in the corner. He's basically just taking little bites.
And that's the way to win the race here, is to take little bites, for sure.
Right back up front, 14 of Mike Slagter. Works his way around the lap car of Jeff Nini.
And looking a little bit further on back.
Oh, a little loose. Mike Slagter dirt tracked around turn 4.
Yeah, it's just rough. It's tough to do. It's tough to get the speed without sliding the tires here at Dover.
So with 200 laps, I'm thinking, I could be wrong, they were definitely short pitting last than the last time around, but even if we say 40 laps per stop, they still have to make. The next stop would put them at 53, the next stop would put them at 90. So for most of these drivers, there's 2 more stops.
Yep, 2 more stops, that is correct. And
but now
would it be one, or would it be one more? Would it be one more stop?
Well, it depends. Well, you're right.
I mean,
so 40 would put us at 68. then they should have enough to go through. Yep, you're correct.
Well, if they last pit on 113, though, you have to take it from that point on. So if you do 40 there, that's 153. You pit 40, you got to save about 7 laps of gas. But I think they can go a little bit longer. I think we can go 45. We saw that in the first stint. Obviously, on tires, it's not going to work, but I think you have to go a one stop. You can't go a two stop at the end of this. If you can make it on one, you have to go one. Two-stop strategy, you're just going to lose too much time when they're running 23-second lap times.
Yeah, I think Brian Johnson was really stretching it out. Now, interestingly enough, James Lowe pitted last on lap 105. So I'm not sure what his strategy is now, but he's got to figure that out. The other late pitter was Sammy Harrell. He pitted last on lap 79.
So if you pit on lap 79, I mean, that's 50 right there. You know, 129 was 50 laps. Going on 52. So it can be done. That's what I was thinking. You could go pretty long here. So we'll see how that plays out as this race unfolds. But right now, Mike Slatker out front. Chris Worrell, Chad Jones, and Chuck Van Scoit there, top 4. Macy just had some communication out of the 43. Didn't know if he was going to come down pit road. It does not look like he will. Oh, that is actually turn 2. You can't go down pit road in turn 2.
There he is.
Yep.
So lap 79 to 133.
54. Yeah, I mean, it can be done. So I personally, I would see if you can go to, pretty long here. Also, Rick, let's go over, watch the 07 to 8 and the 01. Big battle going on between all 3 of those cars right now on the track. Definitely a perspective we want to watch, like a hornet's nest, really, with the 07 there. James Lowe and the 01 of Lilith Peters trying to battle back.
Right now they are a lap down. I'm sorry, they are not a lap down. I misspoke.
I was like, wait, what did I miss?
No, I was like, what did I miss? From Sammy Harrell. Sorry. Lilith Peters is currently showing in 6th. James Lowe is a lap down. He is the first car 1 lap down. He is desperately hoping for a yellow flag. He needs a yellow flag to come out. He is 24 seconds behind Mike Slagter.
Yep, that's tough. Tough break for some of those drivers for sure.
Oh, contact. Hard contact with the 14. The leader in the wall. Of course, now he is coming up on lap traffic that he's got to work his way around. That's a completely different line around this track. You just got to take what you can get. There's the 03 up above. That's Luke Bullard, giving him some space as he works his way around. Not far behind is the 06 of Chris Burrell.
And looking at this race right now, I'm curious to see, really Lilith and Ty are kind of not in great spots from a tire perspective. Everybody in front of them have hit on either 113 or 114. Same thing with Jet Ledger and Vandertwig. So we'll see what they're able to do from a pit road perspective. But right now, Mike Slatker trying to make his way around lap traffic.
Yep. Of course, he's got the 06 not far behind. Another car doing well tonight is the 19 of John Ledger. He is now up to 8th, plus 3 spots in that Monster Energy Toyota.
Always a good-looking car.
Always. We saw the 07 of James Lowe chipping away, trying to get back up to organically get his lap back. But his time between himself and Mike Slacker has not changed.
Has not.
All right, back up front, we're keeping an eye on the 14 of Mike Slacker. He's currently our leader. Lap 143. These cars last came down 30 laps ago. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be going side by side. You won't miss a thing. We'll be right back.
Hi, America. I'm Mark Casper, President of Tech4Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, this year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary. 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We are live at Daytona International Speedway. Right now, lap 147 in the books. And your leader, Mr. Mike Slachter, number 14 Chevrolet out in front. Chris Worrell is currently in second, and Chuck Van Scoik, P3.
Good run for him.
Yeah, he's had a hit or miss season so far, but good finish here at Dover could wipe all that away.
Definitely could do that for sure. This is what's going to be the interesting call here, because we've seen drivers go 50 plus laps on a tank of gas. So you short pit while everybody else is running high 33-second lap times. Do you come down pit road now and force everybody to make the hand? I think if you're Mike Slacker, I would. I think that should be the call. I think you should come down, force everybody else on pit road.
That makes the perfect sense.
Mike Slacker up front, Chris Worrell in second, Chuck Van Scoik in third, Chad Jones in fourth, Jeff Nairn in fifth. Looking at some lap times, Chad Jones, one of the fastest out of the top 5 right now, right there with Chris Worrell and Mike Slacker. Mike Slacker still able to run 23-second lap times. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's having a great race. No, we're now looking at the points. Mike is currently sitting in 9th, well above the cut line for making it into the playoffs.
A win here would be huge. You know, we were thinking, would we see a first-time winner this season? There's be a lot of choices, but Mike Slacker could be the spoiler.
Absolutely. So the wins have kind of been dominated by Chris Farrell, Lilith Peters. Combined, they have got 6 wins. James Lowe, another 2 wins there. So between the two, there is 8 of the wins, and then Ty Bostic gets you 1. And do I have that correct? Is it Garrett Johnston winning a race?
Yep, I believe so.
Looking back at the stats, yeah, so he was our Iowa winner. So right now, points, Chris Burrell is leading, Will Peters, James Lowe, Nathan Harper in 4th, points-wise. Zach Ward in 5th, Justin Horton, Ty Bostic, and Chuck Van Scoik is in 8th. Mike Slagder in 9th, and Garrett Johnson is in 10th. But once we take away those wins, go back and recalculate there. We're taking a pause because we do have a number of drivers now on pit road. Chuck Van Scoik, Lilith Peters, Ty Bostic also making their way down. James Lowe, here's he probably stretched out as long as he could. He's now on pit road as well.
Yep, 44 laps, about to be 45 laps on that stint. So right on target with my estimates there on the second run. So this is the money stop. This is the most important stop of the race for all of these drivers, getting on pit road, getting off pit road cleanly, making sure you don't speed.
That was a quick stop. That was a 4-tire stop for Chuck Van Scoik, as well as the Peters. Everybody took the all 4 tires.
Yep, Chris Farrell on pit road.
Yeah, no one's gambling. And well, the rest of the leaders on pit road: Worrell, Jones, Slagter, and Naran. Saw Philip Vandertwick also on pit road. He has had a good run tonight.
Is that a penalty? Oh, I thought he was taking only. I thought it was a penalty. I didn't see the right side of the car come up. I was confused. But 4 tires for Chris Farrell there.
Chad Jones is still in the pits and out slightly a decent time, 14.97. All right, that round of pit stops has cycled Jeremy Flanagan up to the front. Just 39 laps to go.
Jeremy Flanagan, Brian Johnson, and Maurice Burnett. Oh, Maurice Burnett is dropping. I wonder if he's going to come down pit road. Yep, he is. Jeremy Flanagan also giving us word he is going to come down pit road this time.
That'll put Brian Johnson now back up front. We've seen Brian up front before. He has definitely been one of those drivers that will stretch out every drop he's got in that fuel tank. Pitted last on lap 113, and he is, it looks like, the driver who is staying out the longest.
Oh, 72 car caught speeding on pit road. Not what he needed.
Nope, unfortunately that's the 72 of Jeremy Flanagan. See Marco Berube is now on pit road as well. And unfortunately, they're going to hold that 72 for about 40 seconds, which is an incredibly long time.
Very, very long time.
Okay, here comes the 00 of Ryan Johnson on pit road, which completes the cycle and puts the 14 of Mike Slagder back up front. "34 laps to go in this contest. You've had very few pit stops, knock on any wood you have available, and just been a great race."
You know, last 2 weeks have been very strong showings for the Tech4Troops Cup Series, and it's good to see because the talent is there.
Oh, just so what you may have caught or interpreted, the 14 of Slagter has been caught in traffic, and unfortunately that has allowed the 06 to catch up and is on his bumper. Once these guys get past that 48, I think you're going to see Mr. Chris Rell try to chase down that 14.
I mean, he's there. There he goes to the bottom side in turn 1. It's going to be tied out of turn 2. Here they come. Almost some contact made. Now, Rick, we've seen the 06 get into the 01 on corner exit of turn 4. Here's the 14. Still there. Possibly going to make a crossover out of turn 4. Your new leader. Oh!
14 tags the safer barrier.
Great run there for the 14. He's probably going to go to the inside here on turn 3. Decides to go to the inside. Forces that 06 up the track a little bit. Another great run out of the corner.
These guys have fresh tires, but they're burning up a lot of their stuff, just battling each other. You see that scarred up outside right side of the 14 where he's had some discussions with that safer barrier.
You know, this is where you can actually save tires and make the guy in front of you burn his up, because if you are racing aggressively behind him, as in pressuring him, getting right on his bumper, it'll get him out of rhythm, and it'll get him thinking, okay, what do I need to do to get this guy, keep this guy behind me? Well, all you're doing is applying a little bit of pressure. So it's a fine line, but I love making those moves. And what Mike is doing right now, staying on the back doorstep of that 06.
Yeah, if you're doing any bit of mirror driving, you're off your game. Now, of course, we say that Chris Rell is probably one of the best out here at blocking, so he's thinking he's got to do whatever he can to keep that 14 behind him.
Especially with just around 25 laps to go here at Dover.
All right, we're going to take our last commercial break of the night. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to ImmerseCon, where the future of gaming and technology comes to life. At the cutting edge of innovation, ImmerseCon blends the realms of STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, with gaming. It's a pulsating hub where diverse minds, from casual gamers to industry mavens, converge in a dynamic, groundbreaking setting. ImmerseCon is dedicated to transcending the typical convention experience. Here, every moment is an adventure, every interaction an opportunity to learn, play, and innovate. Join us in this unique journey where the wonders of STEM fuse with gaming, creating an immersive, unforgettable experience for all.
Welcome back to the Tech4Troops Cup Series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. We are live at Dover International Speedway, 23 laps to go. Your leader, Chris Worrell in the 06. Second, Mike Slagter in the 14. These guys have been battling for the last dozen or so laps. 8 cars remain on the lead lap. Chuck Van Scoik in third, Lilith Peters up to fourth, Chad Jones in fifth. Ty Bostic and Jeff Nairn, MVG Motorsports running sixth and seventh, and John Ledger is in eighth. Looking back to the field, you know, these guys at this point in this of the race, they are having to work themselves through traffic. So even these leaders here, see the 06, they're going to run up on traffic. Looking at the graphic there of the track, so they've got the 99 next in sights right there, and the 54 are both going to be potentially obstacles to work their way around. And I think, John, that only benefits the 14.
Yes, it does. It does, and that's where, you know, the 14 might be saving a little bit here, knowing that these lap cars are going to cause a little bit of chaos here for this 06, especially off corner exit. That 06 is not going to be able to get a good run off, as the 14 is able to get right back to the back doorstep of the 06, and the race is on.
$19 laps to go.
$19 to go here. Many lap cars in front of these two leaders that are battling not side by side, but nose to tail.
Yeah, they'll be coming up to the 40 of Jeff Nuni in that Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet.
You know, I think the 14 is the faster car right now. Watching him off of corner exit, he has been sideways, but also very fast. So, I mean, especially right here out of turn 2, he's been getting pretty decent runs every single corner. I'm very excited to see how this race is going to play out, because, you know, Mike is going to be a surprise winner here if he can get it done.
Yeah, they both posted last laps of 23:65 this time by. Chris Worrell edged out by a few hundredths of a second. Laps to go as this race begins to wind down. Does Chris Worrell take his 5th victory of the season, or do we get a new face, Mike Slagter? Now, let's not forget, the 01 of Lilith Peters is now in your screen, has moved up to 3rd. She's got Chuck Van Scoik, I think, on her tail, and they're working their way to the front.
Lilith about 3.3 seconds back of the leaders right now.
All it takes is the leaders to run up on some lap traffic that blocks their ability to get around, and that'll help out that 3rd and 4th place position to catch up.
Yep, it will.
So they've got the, for sure, I think that is the 99 of Marco Berube, as well as the 39, I believe, of Justin Horton. Justin Horton is next, and, you know, he made it easy for the 06. Oh, in the wall, 14 tags the safer barrier coming out of 4.
Yeah, he's been mowing it down the last couple laps too.
That's the last thing he needs. That just shaves off significant time each time he does that. That hitting that wall is like just glue. It just sucks you in.
It does. Man, he is skating right now.
Yeah, he is super loose. That aggressive approach to try and get back that position has taken its toll on his tires. So if you burn through your tires, you're currently running in second, what do? Just dog paddle and hopefully you finish in the same position?
Yeah, you just don't let third get up close to you, which Lilith looks like she's falling off a little bit too. So, yeah, I mean, pull your tires off, maybe make one last lap run.
Running around with the 01 of Lilith Peters right now, just back in a little bit. Good bit of a counter steer. With 7 laps to go, it's probably she's got, her closest competitor is almost 2 seconds behind. Take the podium, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, you should.
All right, 6 laps to go. Chris Worrell continues to lead. He's got the 99 of Marco Berube ahead. Our winner of this week's Tech4Troops Skiing Skirmish. That says Sammy Harrell behind him. Sammy is a number of laps down. Unfortunate recipient. I think he had a speeding penalty, correct?
Yes, he did. Alrighty. 4 laps to go, and the gap is ever so increasing between Chris Worrell and Mike Slatker.
No, but if it stays where it is now, we've got some good names up in the top 10. Bostic, Jones, Ledger, Naren, Philip Vandertwick in 9th, James Lowe all the way back up to 10th. So, just good. Good to see some new faces and new names.
Alrighty, white flag in the air for the 06 of Chris Worrell. Rick, he's had a monstrous season here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Won multiple races throughout the season. Seems like doesn't matter where he starts, he always finishes in the first position. And today at Dover, Chris Worrell going to grab home the victory here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series in P2. Mike Slatker in P3, Lilith Peters.
Great finish from Mike Slatker to pull this out. Great second place finish. Lilith Peters, great finish for her as well. After getting caught on pit road during that caution. Chuck Van Scoyt, top 5. Ty Bostic in 5th. Chad Jones in 6th. And once we get the official results, we will post them. And you know what? They're up.
Alrighty. We go. Here are your finishing order for tonight's Tech4Troops Cup Series race at Dover, presented by Tech4Troops and Goat Racing Diecast. With the win, Chris Harrell in P2, Mike Slatker P3, Lilith Peters P4, Chuck Van Scoyken 5th, Ty Bostic, Chad Jones in 6th, John Ledger in 7th, Jeff Narin in 8th, Philip Vandertwick in 9th, and in P10 you have James Lowe.
In 11th, Zachary Allen. 12th is Justin Horton, and I'm not sure why that keeps doing that. Brian Johnson finishes in 13th, Maurice Burnett in 14th, Cody Sturgill in 15th, Ryan Pittman in 16th, Jeremy Flanagan finishes in 17th position. In 18th, you've got Marco Berube, 19th, Sammy Harrell, 20th, Jeff Denis, David Watson, 21st, Ryan McRoberts, 22nd, Luke Bullard, 23rd, Zach Ward, 24th, Harley Barletta, 25th, and Ryan D. Cook in 26th. All right, we'll wait for our drivers to get out of their vehicles and work their way over to the waiting room. And actually, they've already beaten us there. Let's grab Ms. Lilith Peters. All right, congratulations, Lilith. Great P3 finish.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, it didn't go my way, but I salvaged the top 3 out of it, and I had fun.
Yeah, we were a little concerned when you got caught on pit road during that caution that you weren't going to get back. You were running up at the front, but no, great finish tonight.
Thanks. Yeah, I was 7 seconds back on that last run after the wave around, so I made it up to about 3 or 4 back and got a 3rd. I really like this track, so I'm sure it was good.
Excellent. Congratulations. Any shout-outs tonight?
Thanks my sponsor, Luna Steak Sauce. Buy it at foxfirefoods.com, and my teammate, Jeremy, tonight. And thanks for broadcasting, you guys.
Oh, you got it. All right, congratulations. That's Lilith Peters, who takes home P3 tonight in the Tech4Troops Cup Series here at Dover. Let's try to find our second place finisher, Mike Slagter, because darn it, Mike was so close. Mike, congratulations on your second place finish. I know it's not what you wanted, but we were pulling for you the whole time.
I appreciate that, brother. Hey, I'm just glad to talk to y'all finally. I've been finishing good, but I haven't quite got to the top 3 yet, so it's just good to be here.
No, it was a great finish. You know, it's super hard to hold off. Worrell, you did a masterful job there to try and get up to his door. Of course, you guys were working your way through traffic a lot, but definitely. What were your thoughts on? Of course, we had pretty much very few cautions tonight.
I know this is 2 weeks in a row, man, that we've had really good races. I hope it continues. I thought the race was great. You know, the funny thing is I've never really, I can't say I've not had an interest in running this track, but it hasn't come up for me, right? So I bought it 12 hours ago. So I ran some laps, and that was the beginning of the race was just feeling it out. You know, like I practiced by myself, but obviously in race conditions, things are different. So I spent a good portion of the race feeling it out, and then to get lucky with the caution, you know, I was telling my teammate I would probably try and stay as long as I can. I know we're doing a good green flag run here, but it could happen anytime. And sure way, they wrecked and pinned a bunch of them back there, and then we had track position, and it was just holding it at that point. So went good.
Absolutely. Any shout-outs tonight?
Oh, absolutely. You guys, Tech4Troops for sponsoring. I know Goat Racing is an associate as well, so thank them. Also my team for all they've done, man. They've helped me out a lot. Helped me I was always having a problem with backing off and not racing hard, and they tell me go for it. Go as hard as you can. So I appreciate them pushing me every day. So
yeah, you certainly did. You may have the folks in the shop look at that right side of the car. You definitely.
Oh man. Oh, I can't believe there was at least a handful of times, you know, where I just scrape it and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then there was a few of them, John, where I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it hurt the steering on that one, but she survived.
She did. All right, congratulations. That's your second place finisher, Mike Slagner, taking home that P2 finish. Great finish for Mike. Let's go ahead and grab our leader and our winner, Mr. Chris Worrell, who is no stranger to the broadcast booth, taking home his 5th victory of the season. Chris, congratulations.
Exalda. How you doing, man?
We're doing great here. We were watching you run. You started back there in 10th. Of course, we should never doubt you being able to work your way back up to the front, but you had your hands full with the 14.
Yeah, started off the race good. I barely made the session in time. Been sick, got bronchitis right now. So just made the session in time to run a couple laps. Didn't qualify good. Kind of got into it. Started chasing Lilith there. Ended up hitting the wall pretty hard and messing up my car. And I got over 30 seconds of damage. So that really slowed me down. I noticed after we got our first pit stops, I couldn't keep up with Lilith after we wore out, the fresh tires. That she would leave me. And then throughout the run there at the end, I took the lead and got loose, and Mike was able to pass me and get in front of me, and he was just running away with it. And I think Mike had the win in the bag, but he ended up doing what me and Lilith did and hitting the wall, and I think that damage kind of caught up to him, and I just was able to take advantage on like a lap car when we were passing them.
Yeah,
so
with this track and all the green flag run that we had, lap traffic has certainly played a factor in your runs for sure.
Yeah, with the damage I think we both had and him having the lead, I don't know if I'd have been able to make the pass without the lap traffic. But like I said, I think he had a good way to run away with that one there. But he did like everyone else did. I'm sure me, him, and Lilith weren't the only one that hit that outside wall out of two.
Yeah, there was a number. Yep. So next week we go to our final regular season event, but we're at the high banks of Talladega, where it is truly a crapshoot.
Yeah, can't wait to see 50 cars show up next week to race at Talladega.
It certainly brings out every charter holder for sure.
Oh yeah, and Dover definitely doesn't. I guess some people were a little bashful tonight, didn't want to show up for some reason, but it's cool though.
Bristol is kind of, we were talking at the beginning of the broadcast, it is reminiscent of Bristol. It definitely takes a little bit of finesse. It's not easy to pass around this track.
No, it definitely isn't. That dirty air will really hurt you, especially with damage already. So I got lucky tonight, that's for sure. There's definitely a lot of other people that were more deserving of the win, but I lucked out of that one, I guess. But I'll take it.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, congratulations, John. Any parting words tonight?
I just want to say, congratulations, Chris, again. Awesome season you've had so far, and next week we are at Talladega. It is a crazy race to end the season with, but that's why we do it. So who's going to make their way into the Tech4Troops Cup Series playoffs? Could it be, maybe Mike Slatker finally gets it done, got a P2? Could he lock himself in with the win? Could it be somebody that we haven't seen up there? Could it be somebody outside the top 12, top 16? Who knows? But I'm just excited for that, so make sure to tune into that. And if you're wanting to watch a race again, so on the 25th, which depending on when you're listening to this, we're going to be with the INRS series at Dover, which is going to be tomorrow night. Same broadcast network, same time.
Yep, we'll be there. I think we go live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our broadcast of the INRS series. But thank you for tuning in to the Tech4Troops Cup Series, brought to you by Tech4Troops and Goat Diecast. And I guess we'll see you next week at Talladega. Thanks for tuning in.